There was an unbelievable conspiracy of silence. It's unbelievable, but it didn't just involve the Democrats. And again, I get Hugh's philosophy, and again, I'll say I respect Hugh. I'm a big fan of his interviewing style and how well he prepares. But to say there was a conspiracy of silence, you can divide them and say there's two, or you could say there's one. The same conspiracy of silence between the Democrats, the donors, the politicians, the people in the government, in the White House, and the cabinet, and the press. And why do I say it's one conspiracy? Because their motives was the same. The motive was the same, not to help Donald Trump, to make sure Donald Trump didn't win. The brazenness of it, when they have an obligation to the country, whether they're Democrats or the press, the brazenness of it to pretend it's not happening in real time, to watch Joe Biden do things in public that make it clear that if cognitive decline is significant, and to say nothing, or to occasionally say a little bit, but to not to act on debate night like this is some revelatory shock. Just like the Democrats did, the press did the same. To do that, that's a conspiracy. And to then write a book that says Democrats saw this in private. Now, again, there's these inconsistencies. Well, you could see it in public, but Democrats saw it in private. Hur saw it and was denounced. They talk about the Wall Street Journal reporters who belatedly wrote a pretty tepid piece, but they get a lot of credit for it, for pointing out some instances where people saw the cognitive decline in private. This is the emperor's new clothes, folks, real life. You don't need private accounts. I welcome the private accounts for history, but you don't need private accounts. You do not, to know that Joe Biden suffered mental acuity decline to the point where there are serious doubts about whether he could do the job. You don't need the book. And yet Hugh Hewitt sat there and aided and abetted, because of the way he does book interviews, he aids and abets this fiction. This fiction is so dangerous because if the media can aid and abet in a way that threatens the safety of the country in order to hurt the Republican candidate, if they can do that, how can anyone have any trust in what we do? How can anyone look at the coverage of anything and say it's on the up and up, that it's a level playing field, that regardless of party or ideology or personality, they're going to try to be fair? How could anyone say that?